It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Ace, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Welcome to the Real Word Season 6, Episode 16. Shout out to everybody who's been watching. Shout out to everybody that has supported so far, thus far. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that watches us on the Brick Network. That's every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon, 4 p.m. and 1 a.m. That's 12 noon, 4 p.m. and 1 a.m. Also check us out on YouTube. The www.youtube.com/The Real Word TV. That's The Real Word TV as one word on YouTube. Facebook, The Real Word 7. That's The Real Word 7, the number 7, or The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Facebook. Also on Instagram at The Real Word Ministries Inc. And we also on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, and Pandora, The Real Word Podcast. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
You already know it's the one and only AI in the building. I'm your Instagram, Ace Irving 11. If it's no 11, it's no bueno. Hey, yo, like, y'all know this every week? I always got a Snapple, right?
We ain't got no Snapple sponsorship, so we not gonna shout out no Snapple. We also got an OG in the building. Introduce yourself.
Boy, Sam, the Cameau, man, Crown Heights. You're here with my brothers, building.
Alright, we got two special guests. Introduce yourself, gentlemen. Who'd like to go first? They both wear all black.
Hey, nice to meet you, brothers. My name is Qmani Anderson, but a lot of people call me Brother Q. And I would like to say I'm very glad to be part of this podcast, and I'm glad and thankful that you guys invited me today.
Alright, blessings. And introduce yourself.
My name's Alden. Great meeting everybody. Appreciate the brother and everybody here for inviting me out. You can find me at geniuslybrewed.com, tea company, as well as Geniusly Brewed on Facebook and Instagram.
Alright. So shout out to all the people that came out today. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting so far, thus far. Let's start off with you, since you, Mr. Company Man, Geniusly Brewed. Tell them about your business.
I greatly appreciate that, man. So, we are a Brooklyn-based tea company that we sell natural and organic teas, as well as different tea blends. And what we do with a little twist on it is that we use the loose leaf teas to also make cold brewed iced teas. As I said, you can find us on geniuslybrewed.com. We have many natural and organic teas on there. Winter time's here. Get you some organic ginger turmeric and all the other good teas that we have for you.
So tell the people, how'd you get involved in teas and why you pick teas?
Wow, that's a good question. Being West Indian is something that we always drink a lot. You know, it's like if you're feeling sick, drink tea. If you're hungry, drink tea. Like, it was just that go-to thing that we drink often.
You got that roller drink.
And I remember having like the good time with family and friends every time we drank tea, just chilling around, having like a good vibe. And when I started researching, I was like, wow, there's other teas besides Lipton. Like, we have so many other things.
That's the Caribbean tradition.
Yeah. And then we had other herbs that we would always boil, you know, the lemongrass, or in Guyana, as we call it, fever grass and stuff like that.
Why do you call it fever grass?
That's a good question. It actually helps, like, reduces, like, your fever, your cold, and symptoms like that. So for me, when I started digging into it and doing all the research, I was like, this is it for me. Like, it just all started to click. It started to make sense. And I just fell in love with it. Been doing it ever since.
You know what's so crazy? I wanted to ask you, do you feel like with a lot of the West Indian culture, especially with last year, what saved a lot of people? Drinking a lot of herbs and the spices with the tea?
I definitely agree with that. They actually came out with a report, too, saying how, like, green teas and stuff like that help fight like colds and flus and COVIDs and things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, green tea contains, is very rich in like antioxidants and stuff like that.
COVID,
And, there we go. It has EGCG, which helps like with weight loss and things like that. So tea just itself just has many natural health benefits.
Like, come on, 2 benefits right
That's
there.
what's up.
And how
That's just some of
You
them.
get to beat COVID, and then you supporting black-owned business.
So speaking of black-owned business, because you are a black-owned business,
Yes,
how
sir.
has it been since the
what?
beginning to now?
I feel like I just had to kind of like, you know, as black-owned businesses, we just have to kind of stick with it. You know, like even when times is rough, you'll start to see the growth over time. You'll get more support over time. Sometimes it will be from family and friends. Other times it won't be at all. Sometimes it'll be strangers that you just meet and that's giving you the most love that you have.
Yeah, that's
which
where
is
the main support comes
yeah, and then you know you have groups like this where you have like-minded people who could come together and you guys share a common vision, which is what you like latch onto to move the culture and everything forward.
Facts. I think that's great. And for those that don't know, Alden and I, we knew each other since like 19.
Yes, sir.
So that's over, I think, 12 years. We known each other. You know, we didn't look that old, but we are. So, you know, whenever I see my people doing good things, I always try to support. I always try to be the first one out there to try to help, because I know how it is, you know, starting something from the ground up and bringing it up. And this is what this platform is for, where we could bring like-minded individuals, people of our skin tone, of our color, and people of all colors and all races coming together and just promoting one another for something positive. Speaking of that, I don't really know you, so introduce yourself, bro.
Alright. The reason they call me Brother Q is that, of course, like people think it's because I'm a pastor. No, it's not because of that. It's just that of course, I want to do a black-owned business. Right. Security, right? So I want to do security. What made me start that is because ever since I was young, I always like helping people. You know, that's just the way that I was. Like I loved helping people, especially like it didn't matter like the race that it was.
Right.
Of course, I came from my black brothers
Yeah,
and sisters.
of course.
But
Right.
I always,
Tripped out memory.
yeah, but it's like it was mainly just like
Yeah.
like if I could support this next person and they can use that to support somebody else, it can maybe spread. You know.
Yeah, that's how you win, man.
And
That's how you
gotta
win.
do it.
Facts.
And so I've been like going to college, making Everest. Doing
Nice.
great. I'm trying to do. So I'm supposed to be doing this internship on summer.
Yeah.
Then I did this program that's called FLA, Flatbush Leadership Academy, which is really great. They help youthful kids, you know, who don't know what they want to do and who feel like the world is giving up on them. And they basically
That's
bring them
deep.
in and they give them a job at the end of it, and they also help them with benefits. So
What kind of benefits have I met?
so what so the benefits is basically is like you get
You know,
to
you want to know about
go into-
benefits.
People's watching out there.
It's interesting. It's like what they do is they have it so they bring you in and they teach you about politics, teach you about the world.
Yeah,
And then
tell them about the politics that you've been doing.
oh, politics.
God.
So I've been looking at the I've been doing class called PA 103. You know,
Okay.
so we learn about like the Donald Trump and them, and like the news. I used to not watch the news a lot.
Yeah.
Like I can say that, but then it's like showing because it's like it was so much negative stuff that popped up on there.
Yeah.
So it makes you not want to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I
And plus,
agree.
they can change the narrative.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's how they separate us black people as a whole.
Yeah.
They change the narratives and make us scared of one another. You know what I mean? And I was
That's
like,
it,
no.
right?
So I said I want to make my own news, which I mean by that is like I
Oh,
want
that's
to
dope.
walk over there and I want to talk to people and get to know them
Right.
without judging them by the way they dress or the way that they talk.
Mm.
You know? Because to be honest, it's like if it's like, and that's how it goes. Like you see the news, like when I watch the news, and then I see they be like, "Oh, these people are rowdy," and you walk by, you see these people, and they act rowdy. You be like, "Nah, I seen what happened in the news. I'm
Right.
across the street," and it's creating a false
Yeah.
narrative.
That's a
Right.
fact. I learned that when my man got killed. When my man got killed, I learned that the news is fabricated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
They out
Yeah.
here to really help you. It's
Yeah,
really out here to
you know what I'm saying.
control.
But the thing is that when his funeral came and there was no police officers, they got knocked out by the people in my neighborhood for that. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I didn't even know that. Like 10-10 wins and all of them just tell me you can't, you don't, you can't. That's not. You can't say that. That's not
Some things
true.
that
You
I-
have to go, yeah, because you know sometimes, man, like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think the power of the media is so important. Like this, you know, him having a show and
Right.
other people having their own platforms and just promoting each other and supporting each other for us to change that narrative. That's why media is very, very key and very essential.
Media is like a video game.
Right.
You don't gotta really play the Xbox and P4. It's just a different
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
than
I agree.
video.
I agree. I mean, some things that you touched on that I think is very important was, you know, for the youth is that opportunity. You know, a lot of them who have that, you know, people feel like, you know, they gave up on them. That just that opportunity to see something different makes a big change. Education, which you touched on, is a big change, whether it's self-educated or college or whatever your route is. And the last one that you touched on is seeing ourselves in other situations and other environments than what we see on the news, not being that crazy person, or you know, you watch the news and they get like the loudest person out the back when you know it's way more educated people that can come on there and articulate something better, but they pick the wildest person to do it. So the fact that you're doing that is very impressive.
That's
I
the
like
image
that.
they want to portray. Or something.
So
I
that's
agree with
what
that.
I'm gonna do. And
They
I
giving us
said
the stereotype.
I want to build up my businesses, and not only just mine. I want to go and make it build other businesses. You
that's
know,
awesome.
especially because there's a lot of black-owned businesses that don't get a lot of credit.
They
I
don't,
agree
bro.
with that.
They
I agree
don't.
with
They
that.
don't.
I
So
agree with
also, it's interesting.
The real
so,
world get.
yeah.
We need more credit, man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ain't nobody doing
It's a
it like
great
us during
platform,
COVID.
man.
That's
Great
true.
platform.
And what is it? I wanted to like build up more money so I can help more people. Because me, the type of person that I am, you know, I had to learn. But I used to. You can ask him if I had like $5 and somebody's hungry and that's all I had, I still give it up.
That's a fact.
That's just the way I was. It's like, you know, I'll look out for somebody and they don't even gotta pay me back. Because that's how it's supposed to be, you know what I mean?
Facts.
I agree with
we
that.
don't say it every time.
You was raised right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's raised right.
Speaking of looking out, right? We see one of the things that's going on right now is what's going on in Texas. We know they got the snowstorm and there's a lot of mayhem going out there.
4 days in a row.
They saying that they weren't really equipped for that, so their their structure, I guess their
Like
economical
Alabama,
structure
facts,
and everything else wasn't built for that. As in,
exactly.
They don't got snow plows, they
Yeah,
don't
they
got
don't.
salt mountains and
they
stuff
don't,
like that. A lot of people are dying because of lack of heating. They said that they turned off the power. And the most controversial thing we can say is that, well, two controversial things. Ted Cruz, the senator, he went on vacation. And he blamed his kids. He said his kids wanted to get out of there, so he took them to Mexico. So what you guys think about that? And then there was another politician, I forget his name. He said that the government is not here to help people during this time.
So crazy.
Only the strongest will survive times like this.
Well,
So
And it's been like that for the last year and a half. The government.
well, shout out to Alexandria Cortez and Julian Castro,
They're pretty
who's
good.
really holding it down. She's not even from Texas, but she's from New
Yeah,
York.
exactly.
Holding it down from Queens, holding it down. Of course, you know, she's a Bernie Sanders type of Democrat, so that's expected and everything like that. But in regards to that, with Ted Cruz situation, you know, when you're a senator, you serve your constituents.
Right.
You're here to serve. You're here to serve people.
I agree
And
with that.
unfortunately, it's very sad and it's very unacceptable. I would recommend that he resigns.
I agree
You know what I'm
with
saying? Because he's not serving his people. You know, he's here to serve the people. So that's my take on it.
I got another question that I want to ask. So it's like, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
About, you know, the thing that's going on in Texas.
Yeah.
And how everybody was saying because they voted for Donald Trump, that it's like
Right.
if you're in a situation, we won't help you. And
Right.
they said we don't need your help. And the storm just came out of nowhere and just took him down, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's like that still should stand as like, oh nah, it's like you guys don't
No,
wanna
I mean
help
it's
us?
they
Or do you feel like-
they're state of America. They're one of our states in America. You know, different from different party lines. Don't matter, Democrat, Republican. Still United States of America. You should serve your constituents regardless. If the governor allows that to happen, but if you need federal help, definitely would bring aid into that. You know what I'm saying, which is very key.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this whole thing is just giving us more insight to the government overall.
Yeah.
Like we have
It's all
like
politics.
yeah, and put your insight into politics. Like, you know, I would say for myself too, growing up, it's like we blindly follow politics. You know, like we only follow it during major elections. You know, we didn't like get into it in smaller elections.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't have a full understanding of what they're even capable of or what they do. Or they're just average Joe people who do what they want to do. Like a lot of them abuse their power. It's kind of interesting to see. Like how you would just take off on your state like that and then claim it's for your kids later after you're caught. So it's just pretty entertaining to watch. And I feel like we should use it to like wake us up.
No, definitely. Definitely.
Speaking of politics affecting your personal, Kim Kardashian unfortunately filed for divorce on Friday from Kanye West, and a lot of people are speculating that one of the reasons why is because she got into the political spectrum. She wants to be more formal now, and then distance herself from him. And on top of that, he ran for a political party. For political office, and many felt like he was a distraction from the actual cause, which they were trying to do, which is elect Biden to get Trump out. So I guess that spilled into their marriage in a sense, on top of his bipolar or mental health that they claim that he has. Because he's mentally ill, but he became a billionaire during that time. I'm crazy, but I made $1 billion. I just shipped it to it.
I don't think it's about to be interesting. People saying his next album about to slap. It might, because like it might be the Heartless album. Like,
he has a great. He creates great music.
Musical genius.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just when
she publicizes her divorce.
When we check the status of power, is just there to just help and build people. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? While we getting it,
shows and things like that.
It's helping and getting people. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about.
I seen it today.
So what you guys think about that? About the whole Kanye and Kim Kardashian situation?
I mean, like, the fact that I see that she over here publicizing her whole divorce now with VH1 and all, doing the contract.
Oh, she's doing that?
Yeah, contract.
This her third divorce.
It's two.
That's crazy.
It's on 2 shows. The VH1 and then I forgot the other one.
That's
but
a dub.
I know it's probably like 3 channels after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry her, bro.
3 divorces.
Yeah,
it's
boy,
crazy.
Like, but the thing is though, I don't really feel.
It's just clout. It's just clout.
I don't really.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? For me, I so cut you up, bro. I thought she redeemed herself when she did the justice reform. She got people out of jail.
Yeah.
I gave her props because even she was with Van Jones.
Right.
And sometimes you got to talk to the.
But that's what they saying that she's with now. Like her new man is Van Jones.
That would be so crazy.
Van Jones got a wife.
Nah, he divorced her last year.
Ooh, interesting.
Now I gotta ask, right? There's a question.
No, but you're saying point. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, brother.
Well, I mean, like,
sorry, brother.
When you marry a Kardashian, you already know.
You in for trouble.
You already know. It's like
trouble.
you say, yo, hell, I'm here.
It's a fact.
Like you should not be surprised. People that get involved with Kardashians, like,
you're right.
I don't want to hear them crying, bro. Like,
you're right.
You
can type up Kardashians, you see bad news, like
a lot of them lost careers.
Every year
a lot of those guys lost
careers.
careers.
Headlines.
Because look at Lamar Odom, he became a whole crackhead.
But now look at him now, he's doing great.
Chris Humphries, he was out the NBA like after like 2 years.
That's
crazy. You gotta go.
Yeah. So that's pretty.
Yeah, but I like your energy though. Like I said, man, when God allows you to be successful, is there to help people, is here to benefit people, it's here to bless people, it's to really make a difference. That's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, we're just privileged just to be here. The breath of life, it's a privilege, bro. You feel me? And I want to I gotta give my man Dixon a shout out again, because my man lost his, like, he caught COVID. His mom and his dad caught COVID at the same time, and it was basically in the tubes. That was a very severe and detrimental. And he made it by the grace of God, but his father and his mother, they died at the same time. You feel me? And he's a real advocate of community and promoting people. He's in Brooklyn. So for Thanksgiving, he was in Haiti building another basketball court.
Wow.
You feel me? So he has 2 basketball courts. He has a playground in Haiti. He gave kids school supplies, the whole school supplies, and he gave the whole school uniforms. He's about to now give laptops now. So that's the type of timing we got to be on. When we have influence, we got to be on that type of timing where we touching like millions of people and helping millions of people.
I'm gonna do it.
That's what we are gonna do.
I got the plug. I just need the bread. So
I got another question.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Like, people do these acts of kindness because they know the media is watching them.
No, it all depends. I think it depends.
Yeah, sometimes.
I can speak for Dixon. I think he's awesome. I can speak for guys like I can speak for guys like Tyler Perry. I think because he's been through so much poverty, he's given back. Also, sorry, Rickard. LeBron James,
Yeah.
he been through so much,
Right.
so he's giving back. You feel me?
Right.
And you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they be on the low with it until somebody magnifies it. You feel me? So it depends on the individual. Go ahead, Rickard. I'm sorry, brother.
I was gonna speak on behalf of myself, you know.
Yeah, fine. Yo, let's speak about you, bro.
Why not?
Wait,
Wait, let me talk for myself, but then I'll let you talk.
Okay.
So, to answer your question, do some people do it from the media and from the heart? We do it from the heart, but at the same time, it's always good to get media coverage because that raises awareness and could bring more people to the cause.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to witness it, does the tree really fall? It does, but no one cares. And what impact does it do if no one's around? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I give you something and I give you something, I say, yeah, I'm a charity, but no one knows who's gonna know to donate. You understand?
That's a good point.
One of the first things we did, and you was there, we sat down and we had a meeting with a media mogul, with Schweppes Media Group, and since then we've been in the paper a few times, AM New York, Bay News, Queens Carrier, and that has helped us gain notoriety from individuals that would not know.
Right.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that has helped bring awareness to everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
Perfect example, right? Last Christmas we gave away 200 toys, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we tagged the people that's in our network, and then we reached out to Queens Carrier that put it out in the Queens newspaper, so everybody in Queens knew. They pulled up on Jamaica Ave. We
Right.
put the video out. That video was viewed, I think, over 3,000 or 5,000 times.
Wow.
Now, that's 3,000 or 5,000 people that could donate to the next time we do it.
Yeah.
But if we never record it, then how would they know?
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Regardless of anything, like, there's certain things that we do that the public see, but there's a lot that we do that no one sees.
Right.
That part is where the magic comes in. Because if you show everybody everything that's inside of you, then you're gonna have nothing left. That's what my father taught me. He said, don't ever put everything out all at once, because you have nothing left.
Agreed.
Just like if you have a gun and you empty the whole clip out, then if somebody was ducking and they come out, then what you gonna do?
Done.
Just throw the gun at them? so like, that's how I see it. Yeah.
Hit him with the dead.
But like I said, I just wanted to commend you. Like I said, consistency is key, man. You gotta just be
Right.
consistent.
Yeah.
You gotta be driven, and the rest falls. You know what I'm saying? So the rest comes.
Cloud and notoriety comes with it, you know, especially when they see people that look like themselves doing stuff. Like, you know, most people probably think I'm some big drug dealer or scammer that's just giving stuff away to give. I'm just washing my breath through the non-profit, you know?
You heard that before? You really heard that before?
You know, like, I think for every joke that you put out, there's some kind of truth behind it. But
Of course.
Always.
you know, the Fed's always watching, so shout out to you. It's just jokes.
But like I said, with everything that's going on in the world, like I said, there's so many negativity that's being promoted. You see what Tekashi just did the other day with Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? At
Speaking
the
of
end
Meek
the
Mill,
day-
man.
but to add with that, you know, I just think that within the black community, you just need. We just need more positivity, brothers who are actually doing it and going against the grain and really making a difference in people's lives. That's what it's about.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when your heart is in it and when you're doing it consistently, then the people follow the movement. The
I agree
movement
with that.
grows.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like this movement started in my basement, you know.
Facts.
And since then, we've been able to reach over 4 million people,
Yeah.
and we've been able to help over 5,000 people. You know, so you know we probably fed hundreds of people, over 800 people. We probably fed in the last 3 years. So. And there's more that we do that people don't really see, because there's people that we help that's like, keep it confidential. I don't want, you know, put no pictures up or put my face
Right.
out.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
And we keep that confidential. So it's not everything that we gotta put out, but everybody likes a good media story, you know?
Right, that's
That's what
true.
pulls on the heartstrings of individuals, and that's what makes them donate
That's a fact.
and give, you know? So that's what we've been doing.
I got a question. So do you feel like pride is at the downfall to a lot of people accepting things that can benefit them and others?
Of course.
Ooh, that's a good
Of course.
question.
Biggest enemy.
I think
Wow.
pride
question.
gets in the
Sharp.
way of everything from money to love. You understand what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, pride could do everything from get you killed to cause you to kill somebody. Pride could do
Wow.
everything from make you starve to make you die, you know?
Right.
So you gotta keep that in the back of your head. Pride is one of the most deadliest sins that you could have.
Agreed.
You know?
Agrees on them too.
Yeah.
I could And I tell people this all the time. I don't gotta be giving stuff away to people, bro. I don't gotta be doing this. I don't gotta be doing this show. I don't gotta be doing the nonprofit. I don't need to do it, bro.
Get the bag and just
for what?
facts.
Like, I could be chilling in my crib right now. I don't have to do none of this. You understand? But at the end of the day, bro, I came to America at the age of 2. I was a political refugee from Haiti. Like, my father used to do construction work. When he came to America, he drove a gypsy cab. And when he got his first cell phone, they tried to kill him while he was trying to feed his family with 4 kids. They gave him $150 across his face right here. He never snitched. I learned that from my pops.
Wow.
And my mom didn't work until my youngest sister was, I think 5 or 6 years old. When we came to America, a family of 5 lived in one room, probably the size of this in the basement. You know? So to come from there to where we at now, like,
huge accomplishment.
it is what it is. You understand? Like, my parents work hard. Like, my parents put all 4 of their kids through college. All 4 of us got bachelor's degrees and 3 of us got masters.
Clap it
So-
up for them.
So that's the hunger and motivation that was imputed in me.
Right.
So from there, I had to take it to the next level. You understand? My brother had to take it to the next level. My sisters had to take it to the next level. We just got to keep pushing. So I had to put my pride aside for a lot of things, bro. You don't think there was sometimes where people came at me crazy or disrespected me, I could have violated them, but I'm like, you gotta see the bigger picture and everything that you're doing. It's easy to fall off. It's another thing to keep climbing up and to maintain it too.
That's a fact.
I agree with that.
Right.
And it's like, you know, the thing that makes me think is like, you know, the code of, like, you know, the snitching. We always taught that from a young age. It's like,
Yeah, tough for all that.
never, yeah, it's like never snitch,
all
right?
grew up
But,
from the hood.
yeah, but it's like, what point does it get to a point where you need to snitch in order to benefit your community?
Well, if you're a tax-paying citizen, you can do that if there's a code of ethics. But I think in regards to, you know, situations where, you know, the neighborhood, you know, brothers holding each other down, I think that's a different situation.
If you a gangster and you tell, then you a snitch.
Snitch, yeah.
If you going to work every day, you coming home
Civilian
to
life.
taking care of your kids, paying taxes, and you don't got guns, you're not in the streets, then the police is for you. You pay the police out of your
And gangsters
pocket.
recognize that. Gangsters recognize that. Gangsters understand that. Like, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
to do that.
The gangster won't be mad at you.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
If an older you get slapped up in the streets, you gotta call the police. What you gonna do?
I agree with that. If you're not part of that life, I feel like, as he said,
Gangsters understand that.
Yeah,
Gangsters understand that.
You an average Joe trying to feed your family, then definitely
call
the
them.
police is there to protect you.
Yeah.
But don't be a wannabe gangster or you claiming this stuff
Like
for
Tekashi,
years.
like Tekashi.
That's, you
Like
can't
Tekashi.
respect that.
Yeah,
you can't claim this for years. You riding with the fame, the clout that comes along with it.
You start provoking people.
You start profiting from it.
Especially with the Meekman situation too. That song,
I mean, how you think
like
his
a
numbers
million.
goes up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Profiting, getting the clout chasing,
that's why
and then you're gonna turn around and do that. Nah,
That's why I was about to say, it's like this whole Meek Mill, Tekashi, I think this is all a show.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's like, bro, all these dudes, me, Tekashi, Lil Reese, they all getting paid for this. They've been saying it all the time. Lil 30 said it, yo, Tekashi hit me up saying 5 mil, let's troll. Like, they've been doing this.
That's fake beef.
Word?
sad.
Bro, they've been giving you out tea for so long. It's like,
Are you serious?
I don't pay attention to that no more.
They wow.
Because we all know how Tekashi make his bread.
Yeah,
how he make his bread.
He getting his paper.
Every time he's about to have a new song come out, he
Gotta
trolls
start something.
mad people.
Yeah.
He just attack anybody. And it's like, this is a money-making thing. And then people be thinking these people's actually beefing. I don't really think they beefing.
Yeah, it's a sad.
This is all a show.
People go for money.
All these rappers, they rap about it in songs. They be like, all these people talking about they beefing, but they living in Calabasas and stuff like
That's
chilling,
true. That's true.
chilling in
Real.
big,
That's true, that's true.
big cribs,
But-
talking about living in the trenches. Like, bro, you not in the trenches.
That's true. That's
But
true.
one thing we can't forget is Pop Smoke got bodied in Calabasas.
Yeah, but Pop Smoke,
R.I.P.
the
to
thing
him.
about Pop Smoke was like, he did something a lot of people ain't do. It was like, he was a young dude from the floors.
And he posted that.
Yeah, he posted that. That's what he messed up, because it's like,
And he was too comfortable.
you a street dude, so you're supposed to know, like,
was too
don't
comfortable.
that's not even a street code. That's just a natural code of, yo,
Especially in another hood. another
everybody
area.
know you up now. So it's like, you already know you a big target.
Yeah.
I thought that was his friend who did that.
I don't think it was Mike that thing that he did that by mistake and
He did
stuff
it by
like
accident.
that. You by accident and everything like that. But he was warned. He was warned by the drama king, that DJ DJ. Bro, listen, you like you gotta have soldiers to protect you and look out for you. It's not on some it's not on some sucker type of timing.
Right.
You a king, you feel me? You gotta have your pawns. You gotta have your soldiers around you and stuff like that. You feel me? Like
every day
you know what I'm saying?
outside, you a target,
Gotta just be careful, especially when you're doing things for the community, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
And you really out here really changing the narrative. Yeah, you seen Black Jesus, the Black the Messiah.
Oh, Judas
and the Black Messiah, Judas. Yo, it's real out here, but you gotta be, when you're doing real things, you're black and you empower other black kings to do better and be better and give back. And then on that type of time where they're selling drugs, they killing each other, you gotta be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
Malcolm X has proven that. You heard the situation that happened, that they found a record that the FBI and the New York NYPD was a part of. There was a man, he gave his last will before he died, talked about how he was a part of assassinating Dr. King, Malcolm X, and it was really the people from the front that really killed him. You know what I'm saying? Even though they shot, really people, there's people upstairs that really got him and everything like that.
Yeah, but everybody knows that.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I thought that the people who was in front killed them, but I didn't know what shooters. I didn't know that about that. So
they said a couple days prior to his actual speech, there was law enforcement that came in and they checked the vantage points to see where they would get the best shot off on him.
Wow.
Same thing happened with Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
Martin Luther King's wife sued the U.S. government in court, and she won. So
I think in those situations when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, you become more dangerous when you're not only unifying minorities, you're unifying poor people as a whole.
Yeah.
I believe you become more dangerous because
that's the part that comes with fame.
Yeah. It's a larger group of people that has the will to overthrow certain things.
Yeah.
You need the division. You need us arguing, bickering, coming at each other, because that divide keeps the power. That divide keeps people more powerful. So when you get in a space where you're talking to an overall class of people, regardless of race, religion, gender, and all these other things, you become very dangerous.
Yeah, like Trump recently, when he called down all those people when they came down, over 100,000 people.
Look at a place like Washington.
When Trump said, "We're gonna come down and we're gonna fight," and he said over 100,000 people came down and rushed the Capitol.
You have that amount of people, like Washington D.C. we know is an armed place. It's crazy to think that capacity of people could come there, storm there, and you ain't gonna have no large massacre on TV. So,
to be honest, if the roles were switched, if it was black people,
it would have been it would have been smoke.
And everybody know that. It's like they wouldn't have. You see the peaceful protests of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and they threatened by that.
Mm-hmm. And then it was going after, and then the Capitol,
like you got something
and then the Capitol, and then the Capitol.
I would say first, the Black Lives Matter protests were not all non-violent. And we know that because Antifa groups was setting up stacks of bricks in random locations. Yep. And we seen the live videos when they was what's that thing called? When they were rioting in Manhattan, blowing up cop cars, blowing up stores, rushing stores and everything.
I was there too. In regards to not rioting, but in regards
to
protesting.
Richie Millie?
No, I'm not gonna say the time. But because I remember during the time of COVID, the thing is that we the thing is that in regards to going out there, like just from what I saw, there was peaceful protests. You feel me? It just that one night. You feel me? It was just going down, and like I thank God I had like a hotel in the city and everything like that. So like every block was like was like cops in every block. Yeah, bro. Every block there was cops.
And the interesting part about the whole thing about this stuff that people saying Black Lives Matters movement became a riot is because I've seen it. Like there's people who go in there with not the intentions of the movement.
No, of course not.
Yeah, they go in there. I can go in here and say I'm part of Black Lives Matter movement and rob the store. Yeah. In reality, that's what they came to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But it's always gonna be situations like that.
Those
people just look at it. People look like, all right, people protesting. All right, nobody's really paying attention because everybody doing all of this. So I could just go sneak my way into this place. and just
And
date things.
The interesting part is what they always say is like just because they're black doesn't mean that they're black.
Of course not. We learned that from the Kentucky Attorney General.
And that's a fact.
But majority of the people that was in the Black Lives Matter protests were white people.
More white people than black
You
people.
remember the time when we went to Harlem and we went to go feed the homeless?
Yeah.
And then
it was white people and white people.
But let me
We was like, where they get all these bikes from in the first place?
Oh, they get into it.
there is a lot of white people who go there, right? But they're there. Some people, white people, go there just to show face, to say I was part of this movement.
Right.
You know, and there's other people. You know, there's fake along with the real.
Yeah, of course.
Those are the people that live in the. Those are the people that's most likely they live in the hood. They be like, yo, let's see, I support y'all.
Guys.
Yeah.
Let's be serious, right?
Right.
In order for you to have a protest, you got to get a permit. You can't just get up and walk in the middle of the streets and they block off the streets. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You have to put in your permit, sign the paper, put your name down, your address, and all that information. Even when we gave away clothes in the park, I had to get a permit, and the cops came and they was working with us. Not no snitching. They provide security, and we gave them coats to give to kids in the neighborhood in Brownsville. So, like, when you put it in that aspect, a lot of people, they get it confused between Black Lives Matter the company and Black Lives Matter the movement. Black Lives Matter the company got over $1 billion in donations last year. I don't know about
where the
you,
money went.
and nobody knows where the money went. But $1 billion could have changed the lives of a lot of black people in America, if we're being honest. And we don't know where the money went. Again, the Black Lives Matter, the movement, is black people that feel like we've been disenfranchised, we've been feeling left out. Okay, let's go, and they're volunteers. But there's people that work for Black Lives Matter that's sponsored by interest groups, and they're the ones that was organizing all this. Everybody else is just foot soldiers and pawns, like we was talking about earlier. They're the ones that's gonna get locked up. They're the ones that's gonna get pushed in the paddy wagon and robbed and stuff like that. But the ones that's organizing this whole thing, that the whole thing is going on, like, come on. We seen the bike thing. That's organized.
Yeah.
Like, it was over 1,000 bikes, bro. We like, where you even get this much bikes from? Like, it didn't make no sense. And then they had people on bikes who would stop, block off the street, let the rest of the people go, block off the street, let the rest of the people. They was organized. Just like how when they stormed the Capitol, they organized. Like, they was organizing that for weeks. The FBI knew about that for weeks. No one did anything. Yeah. And they just try to make it look like Trump made them all come at one moment. Like, how can 100,000 people come in 30 minutes, bro?
Yeah.
Like, just common sense. Just common
I've been
sense.
to DC.
You know damn
There's
well.
a lot of security there. You're not
real,
getting
like,
there.
It was
we all
organized.
been to the White House and places like that. We all know, like,
It's not that easy
how
to
is
get
that
to
possible?
certain parts of it.
I got it. So it's like also, you know, before I get back to the Black Lives Matter, I gotta say, you know, it's very great that, you know, you decide to donate, you know, and use that with your time, because not a lot of people think that way. They
Right.
think selfishly, you know.
Selfishly.
And that's what we're taught. It's like, but it's like sometimes it's good to be selfish, right? Because you got to build yourself up to help others.
Yeah.
The fact that you're building yourself up and helping others is like a feat that's like really impossible, nearly impossible, not impossible, but it's something that you're able to do, and it's like it's really grateful to have people like you out here.
One thing I've learned is that success leaves clues, and one thing,
I like
like I was listening to Rick Ross, and he said that he was told to emulate the greats. If you look at every famous, popular, or well-known person, they all do something called philanthropy. They give back, and it's through their acts of kindness that they continue to receive blessings. I read a book called The Go-Giver, and it said that the more you give, the more you're gonna be able to receive, and when you receive, you have to be open and willing to receive the blessings.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I wasn't in a position to help other people, I wouldn't be able to. Outside of here, what we do here, the real word and everything else, like I also do work in my church, I do work in my community. I have a 9-to-5 job. Like, you know,
That's what's up.
I'm educated. You understand what I'm saying? So I've been able to have success in other parts of my life that has allowed me to help other people in other frames within their life, you know? And it was through my experiences and obtaining certain skills that I was able to come back and do it for myself.
Yeah.
Because I worked for nonprofits before I started my own.
That's dope, man.
That's what's up.
And
Say again, we
get your
appreciate you
COVID
for that. We appreciate you for that, and you know, as you said, it's not a easy journey. As you said, you know, that upbringing gave you that strength, that you know, that push, that drive to do that.
Yep.
So to make it as far as you did, you know, you got to give people their roses and flowers when they're here. I think that's something that we don't do too often.
That's right.
funerals don't tap.
Yeah, like sometimes you gotta show love
Gotcha.
when they all the time. Show love when they
All the
alive.
time, I agree.
Yeah.
it's like it's interesting that you say that because look what's happening. Like Pop Smoke, he was good, right? But
Go
then
get
now
your
after
merch.
he died, now he became legendary.
Yeah.
And it's like the thing is like, if I feel like people are listening to his music because it's part of a wave. And
Yeah,
it's like, and it's like
sadly
the hard
true.
part is creating a positive wave that people can follow.
Right.
Because
Your
it's
time, I like your
it's
energy.
so it's like it's interesting. It's so interesting that people follow negative energies quicker than
Yeah.
positive because that's
Yeah.
what we're taught. It's like try to make money, right? And then we are stuck in a situation we try to make it quick.
Right.
So it's the way you don't want to work the job 9 to 5 because you still make money, but it's not as much as making quick money.
Of
Right.
course.
So a lot of people
Because the
go
money
that
go
way.
away so fast, you just
Yeah.
get so pissed off. Like,
It's like, and
Yeah.
I feel like
I
we
bust
need
my
to-
butt off for a week. That's it, gone already.
But I feel like, to be honest, it's like you have to show people that there's positive ways, and I know it's like and through the darkness, right? There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
that is a fact. But sometimes people get caught up in the darkness.
Right.
If they don't try to aim for the light. They just stay where they at.
That's
And,
right.
and it's a quote. It's a quote that was saying it's like which is interesting. It's like if you're in hell, right? You keep pushing forward because why would you want to stay there?
Very
And
true.
that's a fact. And a lot of people do that. We stay and we get complacent. We get comfortable where we're at. And when we get comfortable, we show other people that it's alright to be comfortable.
I agree with that.
That goes back to a sermon that I preached
That's real.
about a week ago about the man that had over 1,000 demons in him, and even the demons were unified and they called themselves legions. And the people in the town, they wanted to lock him up in a cave and chain him and tie him down with rope, but no rope was able to hold him down, and no chains was able to lock him down, and he was running up and down the mountains. And then, but me, when I read the story, I thought about it on an even deeper level, and I'm saying that if the chains and the ropes were able to hold him when Jesus came to deliver him from his demons, he would not be able to run to Jesus if he was tied down. So,
Good point.
and from working in the mental health field, they said that just because you're crazy don't mean that you're stupid. In the sense that,
I agree
like,
with that.
they wrote him off as crazy, but he wasn't stupid because he was smart enough to know that only God could save him from his current situation.
Wow.
And then when God healed him now and made him anew, and the people came and they seen that he was well dressed like them, it forced them now to look at themselves, because it was easy to point their finger at the
Right.
broken man.
Right.
But then now the broken man was whole and he was with God. Now these were the same people who's caring for pigs. Now they had to check themselves because they was unclean like the animals that they kept.
That's a fact.
Right. Wow.
So now, what did they do? Did they try to convert and change their lives? No, they pushed God away. They said, Christ, get back on your boat and leave. So then the guy was like, let me go with you because now I'm one like you. He said, no, don't come with me. Stay with your people and teach them the way. And that goes back to us now. A lot of us are broken and we living like pigs and we living with pigs, and the ones that clean themselves and they're sitting amongst us clean now, and they came from sticking out for the wrong reasons, now they sticking out for the right reasons. We're
Right.
trying to push them away, but that person sometimes wants to stay and help other people, but the people's rejecting them. Real life today's example was Nipsey. Nipsey made it out the hood,
guy.
and then he stayed in Crenshaw. He kept his business, and he would come there every day, literally every day. Then one day he came with no security, no backup, and they killed him. And he still kept it real, and that's what I'm always gonna respect about him. Because when dude walked up on him, was on top of him, he was about to empty the clip. He said, "Alright, you got it." He didn't beg for mercy. He didn't cry. He said, "You got it," and accepted his death like a man.
Right.
You gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fine line for us, you know, like originally we taught once you're successful to get out and leave the hood alone. And
I
as
think
you
they're not wrong about that though.
they not, but then the people who's telling you to get out the hood are the one that's coming back and buying it over and kicking your people out.
That's a fact.
So then it puts you in that fine line of, again, do I think for self and my family, get out and don't look back? Or do I take the risk? Like, you know, you listen to Nipsey music and he kind of called it, you know, he talks about a lot of his friends dying. He talked about blessing to still be alive because at any day it could end. So he knew the risk, you could tell in a sense, and still managed to build what he built for his community, for his family. So I feel like with us, it's always that fine line of, you know, sometimes you treat it like, yo, maybe I'll just stick to self and do for me. And other times you're like, damn, I can't watch my community go to hell. Like, you know, I can't, I gotta jump in and do something. So
You can still support.
that's the battle within us. Like, it's like, what do you decide to do?
The battle was
I think
Yeah.
it's good to give. I just think you gotta just play chess and not checkers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's a risk. It's a risk. You know, it's a risk. But you gotta just want to play chess.
And it's interesting. I see a lot. Like, of course, you see a lot of people who go there and be like, "Oh, this is my block," right? Of course, because they got gang members, but in reality, it's not. It's
You
real
don't
estate
nothing
block.
there.
Yeah, and it's like I've seen you know, and it's crazy because like,
they don't even
Oh yeah,
it's like-
that's sad
it's
reality.
interesting. It's like they had the guns, but all they gotta do is buy property, gentrify it, and then those people who saying it was my block is getting kicked right out. And now they move to another, but it's like the thing is like and it's like
And they doing it with money
They are, and
and
it's like-
power.
and it's hard.
Money is power.
It is power.
And it's true.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
it's
telling
hard
you.
when you try to go and you try to get back to the hood. You know,
Yeah.
talk to them like, hey, you know, and it's like they want you to stay with them, right? Down there with them. They don't see the greater picture.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. They don't see it's like, okay, if he makes it out the hood, right? It's like he can come back and he can get us out the hood.
Right.
Because that's the truth. If I'm bringing myself up, I'm gonna look at the people. Yo, bro, you coming up with me? I'm gonna put you on a job, a 9 to 5, and help me out. You know, work your way up to the top. But they don't want to do that. Like now, I want to get the bread instantly. I want you to give me $1 million.
People don't
And
like
it's
playing their role.
They want to know it. They want to get that $1 million quick. Like you got it, give it to me. They don't want to work for
You
it.
can't
Right?
give somebody $1 million.
But that's the thing.
It's like
And you see the problem with that too, because even when you see with the rappers and athletes, you give somebody out of poverty $1 million instantly, they start wilding out.
Yeah.
They get
that's what I'm
drug
saying.
problems. They get a lot. Yeah, they get. You're giving them a life that they're not used to, and you're throwing it at them all at once. So now they're wasting the money
because now they could support those habits.
exactly,
more.
and it just gets wild. So that's an interesting thing.
I feel like it's mainly because like when like if you,
You
you don't
have
have
a
you know,
budget.
if you don't have much when you grow up and you get it, it's
Right.
like you want to get what you never had.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like that affects us a lot as
Yeah.
black men because when we're born. Let's face it. If we're not white, our credit score is not popping.
Right.
It's like we got to work our way up there. Right.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
a
like
fact.
you know what I'm saying. It's like and it's crazy. And,
You don't
I
be
see it
18 with a
happen.
700 score.
Yeah, and I see
Right.
it happen a lot of times. You know what I mean?
But I feel like that's a lack of education and
I agree with that.
financial education because when I turned 18, the first thing my dad did was bring me to the bank and open up a checking account. And when I was young, he used to always show me how to write checks, and he'd be like, "Yo, one of the most important things you're gonna have to do as a man is pay your bills on time." And every time the bills came in the mail, he would make me sit there and go through all the invoices, write out the checks, fill out the envelopes, put a stamp on them, mail them out. You know, old school stuff. Now we just go on the phone and pay your invoices over the phone with your face. But, like, you know, that's something that he imputed in me.
Wow.
And that's something that I share now publicly with everybody. Even all the things that I learned from business and doing certain things. Like, the people that's around me, I always share the information with them because I think knowledge is very valuable.
Yeah.
I agree with
Like,
that.
and one of the most powerful scriptures is to thyself be true, but let man know thyself. Like a lot of us, we lack knowledge of ourselves.
I agree
you
with
know,
that, yeah.
and oftentimes we in conflict with self. So the war within makes it hard for us to function
wow.
outside. You know, and because, like you said earlier, because of the ego, because of the pride, those things hold us back from improving on our insecurities. Instead, we let those insecurities fester, like build up,
Right.
and then when we go outside, then we become confined within our own masculinity,
Right.
and it becomes a toxic masculinity. And then when we in the crib with a woman, then it becomes a domestic violence situation. So you know, and then we got children, and then they get raised in that trauma. So it's a never-ending cycle, you know. And we gotta just fix that. Like we gotta break that. We can't blame it on the color spectrum because the other side they got the knowledge from us. We just lost it, you know. That's why I said the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Right. I think it's dope that you bring up your consistent message in your life that
You should be number
that
one.
family upbringing and that teaching from your parents like really played a major role in your life. That your dad actually sat down there to teach you how to write checks and how to go through accounting and your bills and things like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you think like a lot of times, you know, for people who aren't that fortunate to have both parents at home or both parents at all, and you know their parents aren't knowledgeable on things like that. You know, where your parents. I heard a quote from Earn Your Leisure podcast too, that they were just like, how many people you know that had 2 or 3 jobs that aren't broke still? You know, like our culture is like we're hard workers. You come here, you do what you got to do and stuff like that. But we work so hard physically that we don't exercise this mentally. So we work so hard, you know, physical labor, that we don't read the books. We don't understand the knowledge. You know, I graduated college and I knew nothing about credit. I knew nothing about starting a business. I knew nothing about a lot of things that exactly. I knew a lot of things that was already part of my life from the time I'm 18. Like, so it's very important that,
true.
As you said, you spread the knowledge. You know, you pay attention to people. That
Bill.
I think that what you just said about like credit score and stuff, I think like that's what we were supposed to be learning since like probably like when we reached like 10 or 11,
design,
like,
man.
get us accustomed to that like from young, because then by the time they're 18 it's like they're way more advanced. So it's like, yeah, they're 18 but they got knowledge like they got
exactly
like 26 or 27, 28-year-old. So that's why I feel like a lot of the stuff like schools be teaching us, it's like it's garbage.
True.
Because
like you use the Pythagorean theorem today.
Yeah, like just like how you just said about the credit score. It's like,
you know, y x
you never
plus b.
Yeah, bro, I used to hate it. Look, me personally, when it came to math, I loved math. I was good at it. But once you started adding all the alphabets, I was like, you know, I want none of that.
I feel like, to be honest, that's true. It's like, and it's like they teach us stuff.
No, you knew firsthand.
And I feel like the thing is like we're not taught real life situations.
I agree with that.
You know, and that should be a part of our progress. You know, and like senior year, like if you go to senior year, you should be learning how to do a resume, how to do credit score, how to do all this stuff, and how to
13 years of
you know, it's like interview for a job, but you don't know that. You have to learn it from the parents, and if they don't know it, then how are you supposed to know?
They have a lot of work to do.
Google, you can't be done with a smartphone.
People don't read.
What happens if you can't?
People don't read, bro.
You get an Android, you go to the library.
People don't read, bro. People don't even Google, bro. People don't read,
You get a
bro.
phone for $30, and then you pay another $30.
People out here don't read, bro. People out here don't read, bro.
You get a good Android, like
it be right in their faces, bro. Right in their faces, bro. And they be like for example, like, you know, a lot of situations, bro. Like, you know, it be right in their faces, and they just do the opposite, and they blame the feds, bro, when it's really them. It's real talk, bro. It's real talk, bro. Like, they blame other people for their responsibilities. Now, you did that, bro. Nobody told you to go on social media and do that, bro. You feel me? Like, the guy that robbed Soho, bro, he was bragging on social media, bro. You did that. You didn't have to do that. You got the money. Stay on the low. Nah, he did that.
Just like the dudes on the party bus the other day. It was like 15 people on the party bus, and I think they found like 15 guns.
They did that to themselves, bro. You know, as a black man, bro, you gotta move accordingly, bro. You're not white, bro. You feel me, bro? That's why, bro, I don't want to drive a car, bro. I'm good, dog. At the end of the day, bro, you know, when you're a black man, you got a car, bro. You gotta move accordingly, bro. You're not a white man, bro. Like, you feel me? People need to be reminded that, bro. You know what I'm saying? No matter, you could attain success, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, you still a nigga to them, bro. You feel me? So facts, bro. They did it to Barack Obama. They did it to Bill Cosby. They did it to, you know, so forth and so forth, bro. You gotta move accordingly, bro.
You know, Cosby, but I won't give you Barack.
So it's interesting that they say the Jay-Z song that people don't understand. It's like
they called him a monkey. It's like a monkey and everything.
No matter what,
Wait.
It's like
Just
go ahead. Even if you're rich, as long as you're black, that's all they see.
That's all they see, bro. That's the facts. I'm not trying to like play it. It's what it is. I took cats that all the time. Like, for example, Henry Louis Gates, he was trying to get to his own crib. He's like, yo, listen, I got my ID. This is my crib. Yeah. The police officer was still apprehensive. He's the one that created the Africana. The Africana is basically the black version of the encyclopedia, like Britannica, the Africana and everything. Like, listen, I got my key. I'm gonna get in. He went in. They got him arrested to the point where Barack Obama had to intervene. So at the end of the day, that's what it is, bro.
And he had pictures of himself on the walls. Yo, that happened to me one day where the cops came to my crib. And it was like, who house is this? I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, yo, I got an award on the table that has my name on it. I have newspapers.
They be wildin', bro.
Like, Like, and they're like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's right there.
They be wildin', bro. They be wildin'. You gotta move a quarter. You gotta move right, bro.
He was like,
Testing you right there.
He was like, who house is this?
Yeah, you gotta move right, bro.
I'm like, what?
You gotta
Look,
move
I broke
right.
into this house and just put my name in.
Yeah, you gotta move right,
Really
bro.
quick decoration.
Gotta move right.
It's true. It's like
You
you
don't
have to
think-
change up because I mean before, like I said, I wanted to become a police officer because I wanted to help people, right?
Oh,
That's what I used.
That's
That's what I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But then it's like I changed up what I wanted to do because in reality, as a
So you
police
don't want to
officer,
become a cop no more?
no, you can't help who you want to help. Because
Yeah.
it's not under the law.
They already antsy, bro. Especially your neighbor. They antsy with that.
I see
Cops,
and-
they antsy. They antsy, bro. They antsy,
Once you
bro.
become a cop, you ain't black or white. You're blue.
They
Yeah,
antsy.
you
They very
I like
antsy,
that. I
bro.
like
They very
that. I
antsy.
like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
Different
saying.
teams.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I feel like
Antsy.
just like how when you say when you become a cop, you're not black or white, you're blue now. I feel like when it comes to that sense, I feel like there's a lot of narratives getting pushed out, and plus, like when it comes to the color thing, I think it does have a certain degree where it can hold you back. But I feel like once you have when you reach a certain bracket, it's like it's a new narrative. It's not no more about color. Like that's how I personally feel. But I feel like that narrative about black and white is just for a certain extent.
You think so?
Yeah, but when you walk into certain rooms, you're gonna realize no, it's bigger than that.
So to close out, because we got 6 minutes.
Okay.
So closing thoughts. Who would like to start? Well, you start off with you. Go ahead. You was ready.
All right. Well, the close thought is what I want to say is
Make sure you talk loud so everybody.
So,
hears.
so what I want to say is, definitely come out to support this business. This young black brother who is out here helping not only himself, but he's helping others.
Right.
And you gotta give it up for my
Yeah,
man,
facts.
because not a lot of people do that. And also, I gotta say, it's like, it's us as black people, in order for a fist to be strong, you gotta have all fingers. So that's,
I like that.
and that's the thing, is like, we are all these fingers. And we all gotta come together to make that powerful fist.
I like that.
Like that.
I'll say thank you to you guys here at Real World. I will say key takeaways for me is education.
Yes.
Try not to rely too much on the government or these people because we seeing more what's going on lately. So educate yourself.
Yes.
Work with each other, push each other forward, and spread
It's the
knowledge and love.
real
Spread the opportunities that we can get. That's
It's
the
the
only way to move
real
forward.
Tell them where to find the tea at, man.
Hey, find the tea at www.geniuslybrewed.com as well as facebook.com/geniuslybrewed, instagram.com/geniuslybrewed.
Ace, closing thoughts.
Everything in life comes with a price. If you want to beat COVID, cop the COVID tea. Y'all, come on, stop wearing the mask. Just drink the COVID tea.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody who watched, everybody who's supporting. Let's
you.
make the change that we need to make and be consistent. That's all that matters.
Alright, so I thank everybody for joining today. My closing thought is continue to build with one another.
Yeah.
Look at all these black brothers on this platform, and half of us own black businesses.
Yes.
So the other half will soon, because they're the next generation after us. So this is what you do. Once you get the keys to life and you start opening those doors, invite other people in. That's exactly what we did here on this platform. So we thank you all for joining us today. We thank you all for all your continued support. If you want to donate, the website is www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's therealwordministriesinc.org. Don't forget, we're a 501c3 nonprofit charity. So all of your donations is tax deductible. So if anything, we see you guys next week. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and wherever. Or you could just Google us, The Real Word Ministries Inc. So we thank you all. Pastor, you want to close out with a prayer?
Be with us forevermore.
17.
Direct us and guide us into your presence. Using we do pray. Amen.
Amen, brother.
Amen, amen. So we thank you all for joining. We thank our guests for coming here today. Love and support. Much blessings to all of you.